What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of the Bounty Hunters podcast. I'm Jodan Anderson, and I'm here with Drake Woodard. And today we're talking about kind of episode 9, the outlook for Disney, and where we think Star Wars is really going to go as a franchise, and our hopes for what we want to happen versus the reality of what probably will happen.
Let's just get into what Disney's done so far.
Yeah, it's probably
start The Force Awakens. I really like The Force Awakens. If you watched our previous episode, I rated it as my second favorite.
Yeah, I think I left it as I left it as 4.
I think you put 4, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I really like it because it's like really fun. Like it's like A New Hope with the practical effects mixed with the good CGI.
In the modern time, it really fit with the modern
Yeah.
kind of filmmaking style. I mean, it was a Star Wars movie, but it wasn't the original trilogy copycat. It was its own little thing. And
I didn't like Finn in The Force Awakens. I loved Rey. I loved Poe. But then I really liked Finn in The Last Jedi. I really wish that Rose would have let him die.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. And kind of looking at our hopes towards 9, I think some necessary things need to happen, and one of them is Finn dying a heroic death.
Finn dies.
It's sad. I mean, he's a good character. I like him, but he's got to die just because he needs that heroic death, committing to the Resistance. And Kylo Ren does not need to be redeemed. I think we can all understand that. They gave him too many chances to already become redeemed, and obviously it's probably not going to happen. And I've had there's lots of theories concerning him. He's gonna die one way or another, I think.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are gonna have to die, and there's the most logical thing, Rey versus Kylo. There's Rey
or even Snoke,
or Snoke could be alive. Kylo dies saving Rey, but not like for the Resistance, just for her. I mean, there's lots of theories out there, and I kind of like that one. But Star Wars Explained did a really good video, or no, Star Wars Theory, I think. I don't know, either one of them, on their outlook of 9.
It was Star Wars Theory.
I think it's Star Wars Theory, yeah. And Snoke, he actually is alive, but it was a test to try to get Rey to the light side. Or no, okay, let's revamp. It's trying to get Rey to the dark side. It wasn't Kylo, betraying Snoke. It was Snoke and Kylo teamed up, which Disney can take one or two approaches there, or they can take a third approach and leave Snow dead, which I don't think that's happening. They wouldn't.
Like he's too big of a mystery.
Oh yeah, they purposely. J.J. Abrams had big plans for him, and Rian Johnson knows that.
We'll get into Rian Johnson later.
I think Rian Johnson, a lot of what he's done isn't bad. Well, it is bad temporarily because we're stuck with Last Jedi. But once that new movie comes out, yes.
9 will have a big influence on Last Jedi.
Yes, but J.J. Abrams...
Like look at Empire. Empire was not universally loved like it is now back when it was released.
Here's one problem.
But Return of the Jedi really capped it off.
J.J. Abrams directing 9 is the issue, in a way. It's not an issue, but it is. Because, for example, Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams are going to have to do some really good communication here, because let's say J.J. Abrams had big plans for Snoke. Well, Rian Johnson killed off Snoke, but planned to use him in 9. Well, J.J. Abrams better come up with something,
I would rather it be J.J. Abrams the entire sequel trilogy, or Rian Johnson 9.
Yeah, I mean, people think Rian Johnson sucks. He shouldn't finish this out, and honestly, he should, because he had his plans for 9, and honestly, it's best to let it carry out. And throwing in this new director, yes, J.J. Abrams is a good director, but if they don't communicate and they don't make get a decent plan, because I mean, if you think about it, it doesn't make sense to have Abrams.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. I mean,
because it's JJ's ideas, and then he's like, I know I'm getting 9, so I really hope Rian Johnson goes with what I want.
Yeah,
but then he doesn't, and he's like, well,
he's got to rewrite.
Now I gotta revamp it.
Honestly, I feel like they should work together. I think they're doing that. I think they are working together.
I would be shocked if Rian Johnson didn't have something to say,
because that's what they're not really competing with each other.
They're not competing.
They're really helping.
Honestly, they're trying their best to
save their reputations. Sort of.
For real.
Less on J.J. Abrams and more on Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good things happening, and I do want to mention this real quick and get away from the kind of the sequels and talk about how a lot of fans were mad about the Kenobi movie being postponed and you're not having a Kenobi movie yet. But let's be honest here, Disney has a lot on their plate. They got already have a Boba Fett movie eventually. That's down the line, but look at them right now. You got the Clone Wars season 7, which I know everyone's happy about, and then you have Resistance, cartoon series, but then you also have a live action series that's been confirmed later down the road. We don't know much on that.
Jon Favreau. I think it's maybe 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
Okay,
I believe.
Well, we have that coming up, and that's another thing Disney's got to work on. Obviously, these shows are probably going to be easier for them to produce, but they still take time and effort. And then eventually you have your episode 9, and that's big. That's crucial. Big. That's a lifesaver.
People are saying they're more excited for Clone Wars season 7 than episode 9.
Yeah, I don't think I am.
And
honestly.
I'm like,
no, episode 9. They don't.
I'm so excited for both of them.
I don't care I don't care if you love Clone Wars. We all do. But episode 9 has a bigger impact on the Star Wars universe. It's not a. I wouldn't say. Yes, Clone Wars season 7 is kind of a filler. It's not, but it kind of is in a way. It technically is.
It's an ending.
Yeah, it's an ending, but. Season 9 is a huge, not season 9.
Season 9.
I don't know. It's late. It's hopefully. I don't know. Maybe not John. Okay, maybe Dave Filoni. I don't know. I can't talk right now.
It's 3:42 in the morning. Excuse me.
It really is. Maybe Dave Filoni will somehow find a way to not end Clone Wars. But honestly, it's better if he does.
Daddy Dave.
Yeah, Daddy Plo. Daddy Dave.
The thing is with Dave Filoni is. I would, like I sent to you on Instagram the other day,
yeah.
I would love to see a movie by Dave Filoni because
an anthology film.
He has proven himself time in and time out. Like, imagine if with Rian Johnson's new trilogy, Dave Filoni had something to say.
You think it's too early to say that Dave Filoni is going to be the director of the Kenobi movie? I
think that would be cool.
Do you think that's too early, or do you think it'd be bad? I mean, honestly,
I feel like if they were going to do a Kenobi movie.
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Doesn't really matter. You can't go wrong with Ewan McGregor being the star.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter who's director at that point. But
as long as we get it.
The thing is, with the postpone, it was Collider. That was the company that first reported that the movies were being postponed.
Yeah.
And people were just reading the headlines and saying, "Oh, they're postponed. They're not happening." Well, in reality, Boba Fett was never officially announced. It was just said that there was a director if it were to happen. And Kenobi doesn't have a director. Ewan McGregor is not confirmed. It's never been confirmed by anybody.
It's a lot of rumors. It's a lot of rumors.
It's nothing but rumors.
That will happen, though.
And Disney has said that they're not necessarily postponing it. It's just they're focusing on the Rian Johnson's trilogy.
Yeah, I mean,
which... If Rian Johnson does his trilogy right, it can be great. And I want you to elaborate on that, because I know you have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, first of all, I'm going to say the Kenobi movie, yes, it's rumors, but it's going to happen. We're going to have a Kenobi a Kenobi movie in the next 20 years. It's obvious. Who else are you going to make?
Obi-Wan is, 59 in A New Hope? I think he's about 59. How old is Ewan McGregor? Almost 50.
Yeah, I mean...
Probably around 50.
But see, also you got to think, think about anthology films. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have a Kenobi movie. It's what we want, and it's what makes sense.
I would say, if you were to poll a bunch of Star Wars characters or a bunch of Star Wars fans about who their favorite character was, I bet Obi-Wan would be right up there at the top. And
what they don't realize is that with like in the Kenobi movie, there's plenty of room to finish off elaborate more on the ending of Solo.
Okay, so I think that's such a cliffhanger.
Maul and Obi-Wan are such great nemesis that it would work perfectly.
I know eventually we'll get something explaining Kira's fate.
We'll get a novel, probably.
And we know Maul's fate in Rebels, but I really want to see
we get like a Shadow Collective novel.
Or I don't know.
But
I was thinking doesn't have to be Shadow Collective, because Shadow Collective is like a bunch of different like gangs, I guess.
It doesn't have to be too descriptive.
So I'm thinking if it was just Crimson Dawn going against, say, the Hutt Clan or Death Watch.
But it involved like a bounty hunter, like Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
And then bring his canon. That would bring his canon. That would. Well.
No, because it'd be before.
It'd be before.
But
still. You mean Return of the Jedi.
But
You mean Return of the Jedi, right?
no, it'd be before A New Hope because.
Well, but you do mean Return of the Jedi because that's when his death
Yes.
is. Yeah, okay.
But like, the thing is, if there is a Boba Fett movie, I would be very disappointed if it wasn't after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, because it
needs to be. After
It needs.
Return of the Jedi.
If there's a Boba Fett movie, that's going to be his art. That's going to be his highest point. And what better time is it to confirm, or not really confirm, but more introduce the Legends end to Boba Fett? Like, there's so much possibility there. Whereas if you made a movie before Return of the Jedi, you're wasting it. I mean, if you're gonna make Boba Fett's death Legends, why waste it in a novel or a comic?
Yeah.
Just release it in a
Kinda
movie.
like
I mean, come on.
Han Solo, his funeral was in a novel. Like, that's kind of wasting. And okay, this is sort of changing topic, but like, Disney is being very smart with this. I believe that Disney is being very smart because, okay, we don't know much about Resistance. They're keeping that very much on lockdown. We don't know much about Clone Wars. We don't know too much about Clone Wars. And we barely know anything about the live action show. So, what would be great is once Disney's streaming service drops, if they can announce, say, a Kenobi movie then, or a Boba Fett is going to be after Return of the Jedi, a movie like that, like right then, because if Star Wars fans are coming off of a new TV show, another new TV show, and an old TV show coming back, and then you announce a Kenobi movie, that's going to be very good for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, like, they just got their eyes set on a Kenobi movie, and that's all they want, but they don't realize that the new material that Disney's going to put out has potential. The Resistance series
really does.
has potential.
I'm so excited for Resistance.
Oh, yeah.
I really believe from those
it's
pictures.
It's not going to be a Rebels. It's going to be...
But from those pictures from Comic-Con, it looks great. It really does. We looked up the name of that guy. That's the main character. That's an awesome name.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, for me, is there's not a lot of Force, or as far as we know, not too many Force sensitive beings. I think it's gonna be more of a pilot dogfights, more of the human non-Force users, and that's kind of cool. Or maybe not necessarily humans, but
unless
non-Force
it's Ahsoka,
users.
I would be fine if it was Ahsoka.
Oh, anyone would. That would be.
But
amazing.
I feel like if, say, Ahsoka were to come back for 9, then you wouldn't put her in Resistance. Because that kind of be spoiling it a little
And that's
bit.
a lot of things. People get ahead of themselves and they think, okay, well, blah, blah, blah. They won't do this. They won't put Ahsoka in the... Ahsoka didn't... Ahsoka, yeah. If Ahsoka didn't...
New ship.
Yeah. I don't even know who that would be
Resistance and Ahsoka.
Rey and Ahsoka. Okay, that's a little strange. But, like, if people were bragging, or not bragging, but claiming that Ahsoka should be in Resistance and then she wasn't, a lot of people might get butthurt over it. But you know what? Hey, let's say Ahsoka would be in 9. Boom. There's your answer.
Yeah.
You just lost all. You just got so mad over. That's the problem. People get mad over nothing, like complaining about a Kenobi movie when really, maybe the best bet is just to wait for a movie.
Yeah. Like, would you rather have, say, okay, well, let's take Kira as an example. Would you rather have a novel or a comic or something that explains her fate and get it next month, or would you rather wait, say, 2 years and see it on the screen and say like a Kenobi movie?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And another thing with a Kenobi movie is, okay, I can't say this to you because it would kind of be spoiling the Clone Wars, but it would be great.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm on a season 3 of the Clone Wars. Like, so yeah, I'm behind. I'm really sorry. I apologize.
Give away too much for what happens, but it would be great if we could see a flashback to when Obi-Wan and Satine are on Mandalore. I think that would be great.
So I'm gonna go ahead and break off on a little subtopic here. Today, my mind got to. I mean, I know everyone's been talking about this, and everyone kind of figured this out. But today, my mind got to thinking, and I was thinking about the new book by Claudia. I just got finished reading Lost Stars and recently, and I was thinking about Claudia Gray, and I was thinking about how good of an author she is, and her new book actually. I think it's that's gonna come out. I think
Master and Apprentice.
March maybe.
It's February.
Or February, I believe. Master and Apprentice, and about Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's been confirmed. I think it might have. But it's been about their time on Mandalore, and a few years before The Phantom Menace. And that's awesome, because that means, Obi-Wan and Duchess Satine. And I've only seen, I'm almost done with season 3 of the Clone Wars, but I already know so much, I already know a little, good bit about Obi-Wan and Satine and how they've had a past relationship. So, and knowing the nature of Lost Stars and how, some of the events in it and how kind of descriptive it got on some certain topics, I'm really interested.
It went farther than you would expect.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see this Master and Apprentice novel and this Obi-Wan and Satine relation. I'm really interested to see how far she'll go with it.
But the thing is, while they're having their little romance, what's Qui-Gon going to be doing?
Yeah, that's another cool thing.
That's the fun thing about it.
It'd be funny. Like, is it just going to be a book where Qui-Gon's third wheeling? I'd probably not. No, there's going to be something. That book's going to be good.
In Legends, Qui-Gon has I don't know if it was technically a lover, but it was a very close female friend that died, and Qui-Gon was right there with her when she died. And I'm thinking, what if we could get, say, a glimpse into that?
I'm really excited for that. And then the new book, Queen Shadow looks pretty good. I don't know who's that by. Is that by Claudia Gray?
It's not.
I don't think it is either. She wouldn't release 2 books. Never mind. That was a really dumb question.
She doesn't have the time. I know we want her to, but she doesn't.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to get my hands on. I'm going to read Thrawn and then Bloodline, hopefully. And then Ahsoka. I don't know. I'm just going to keep going. This year, I'm going to plow through some canon books.
We both are.
We are.
We're going to be releasing reviews like crazy.
Everything. Maybe in a podcast, we'll just break down like 2 or 3 books.
Yeah.
That's probably what we'll do.
Sounds good.
But it's got some potential. Disney does. Like, I'm being optimistic and I'm being hopeful here, which, it could come out to get me if you go too far, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to, keep my expectations somewhat realistic and hope for the best, because I feel like there's potential in 9. I feel like a way more potential. Like, I think I said this when I was reviewing The Last Jedi, but like, I have The Last Jedi, this doesn't really matter. Numbers doesn't matter, but I have it ranked, I think, 7th, but honestly, Last Jedi isn't bad, like really bad.
I have it 6.
It's a really good. I mean, I don't know, really good is the right word. It's a good movie. Yes. But I feel like that 7 can be more like a top 5 if some events in 9 go down correctly. Like, if Leia's character is executed correctly, we get to see a really good Luke character.
Lando.
Yeah, Lando. I don't know. I'm worried about
Lando though, because I know Billy D. Williams is going to do fantastic as Lando. We know that. But I'm scared that they're going to do him wrong like they did Luke.
That is true.
But considering what J.J. Abrams did with Han and Leia in episode 7, I am very confident.
J.J. Abrams knows how to work with old people. we can confirm that. He's pretty good. I don't know. I just have a hunch. And, but seriously, I feel like, many people were upset that Leia did not die in episode 8, which sounds very strange, honestly. That was really strange. Like, I love her being alive still, but it's with, the tragedy of Carrie Fisher, it's going to be very difficult to make Leia into what they wanted her to be. But let's be honest, she's going to have to die in episode 9.
You can't recast.
She's going to die.
You can't recast her. And then CGI is going to go too far into Uncanny Valley unless they can finally break that seal and get out of the Uncanny
not
Valley.
Grand Moff Tarkin everything.
And Leia in Rogue One.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's lots of potential here if it's done right.
Yes.
And, it's going to be a combination of right and wrong. But
it's like, when I was going in personally for the first time to see The Last Jedi, I wasn't thinking Leia's going to die. But when I saw that Leia got sucked out, I was like,
she did.
That was very sad. That was very well done, though, that it wasn't Kylo Ren that killed her, and Kylo Ren clearly let off.
Kylo Ren
and then
killing
another
both
TIE fighter comes off.
I mean, Kylo Ren killing both of his parents, that would have been awful.
Yes.
That would have completely ruined his character.
And I'm thinking, when Kylo Ren let go of the trigger, I was like, Leia survives. Then all of a sudden a TIE fighter comes up behind him and blows up the bridge and kills...
I don't agree with the Leia Poppins, but I do think that it was a really cool plot twist that she survived, and most people didn't expect that. And with episode 9, I feel like the only reason she did survive is, I mean, obviously they knew, like, they would have taken her, they would have done something, they would have taken action with her character, because, you know, they knew that Carrie Fisher had passed away by the time this movie was, you know, done. So they would have taken action, but no, they have plans for her in episode 9, and I'm hopeful with them, and I actually feel like there's a chance. And I don't know about Ray's parents. Who knows? That is up in the air. That could be anybody. It could be the truth.
That's about as up in the air as Snoke.
We could have we have these theories, but 9 may reveal some theories out of left field that are awesome, that we did not expect coming, and that will make The Last Jedi 1,000 times better.
Oh yeah.
And then these Disney haters can get something, because Disney haters, they got a problem, because not only did Disney bring back Clone Wars, but we got 2 TV shows. We
got 2 really good anthology films.
And we got some decent novels coming up. And we probably have a decent trilogy coming up. So, I don't know. Just, there's so much on the table right now that I would, hating and going against Disney is probably not the best idea.
Okay, moving on. I'm going to give you a little rundown, like a little summary, and then I'm going to let Joe elaborate on this.
This is our discussion yesterday afternoon.
Yes, on house party with some of our friends. We were talking, and pretty much we were talking about how Rian Johnson's trilogy is supposedly, air quotes, in another galaxy.
Yes.
And we were thinking, they're really going to go outside the Star Wars galaxy. They are really going to ruin Star Wars by literally not having it be Star Wars. You know, it may even be alternate timelines like Marvel. Something like that.
Something crazy.
That doesn't belong. And then Joe, for some reason, was like, okay, our friend Dylan, he's like really into, like, he likes Legends a lot, and he was saying
he's a huge Legends fan.
Yes, he said that he would really like to see Rian Johnson's trilogy would be the galaxy coming from ashes. And Joe says, wait, what if it's the start of the galaxy?
So, what my theory behind this is, Rian Johnson is like a super genius, and is probably like,
as you can see from the title,
Rian Johnson is a genius, and his new trilogy is about to be one of the best trilogies we've ever seen. This is a bold statement, I know, and this will probably come back to kick me later. But it is on. Just hear me out. I mean, think about this. Here's my theory for episode 9. Nobody wins. Everyone dies, basically. The First Order gets destroyed somewhat. It's left in shambles. The Resistance pretty much gets destroyed. I mean, not everyone dies. You know, there's a few survivors. I think Rey will survive. Maybe Poe. I don't know.
I believe Rey and Poe will survive.
But, you know, a few leading members of the Resistance survive. But it's no longer the Resistance. It's just a group of people that survived a nice long war. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much it. First Order, you probably have a few people alive, but it's not really... It's chaos. There's no one... I mean, I wouldn't even say chaos. I would just say it's pretty much just nothing. There's no central government ruling the galaxy.
There's no republic.
There's no republic.
But there's also no, like,
there's no
dictatorship.
Yeah, there's no light and dark in control. It's just this brand new, clean slate, a, quote, new galaxy. And I feel like Rian Johnson, he kind of said it'd take place in, like, a galaxy we've never seen before, stuff we've never seen before. And he's right. It takes place in a time that we've not seen before. A time where no one's in control, no one knows what to do, and planets and lots of systems have their own independent reign.
But the problem is with that is, what is this? What is what we're talking about? What is it called? Star Wars. You can't have wars if you don't have opposing sides. Not that there won't be opposing sides, but that there isn't going to be major factions.
And there could be like Rey raising a new generation of Jedi.
Yeah, which I would really like to
Not
see.
exactly trying to reinstate the Jedi Order, but trying, like, maybe let's say the galaxy goes into chaos because no one's in control, systems are attacking each other, crime, smugglers, and raising this new generation of Jedi to take control of the galaxy.
Let's go with smugglers are taking over, these crime lords are taking over.
Yeah, I mean, that could be it.
And the galaxy pretty much turns into, like, the lower levels of Coruscant.
People like Dryden Voss.
Very scummy. Yes, people like Dryden Voss.
And then Rey and the remaining members of the Resistance aren't exactly the Resistance, but they're just this group of people trying to raise a new generation and a new kind of system. Not really a new republic, but just something like that to reinstate order.
The New Republic.
Yeah, New Republic. I like it. But I feel like that's what Rian Johnson's going with this. I don't think he's going to do some ambitious. That's kind of hypocritical for me to talk about ambitious right now, considering what I'm talking about. But
yeah,
Rian Johnson's not going to do something crazy and go into the galaxy. He's not going to time travel. He's not going to do any kind of crazy crap.
But the thing is,
but he's right.
We've seen time travel.
I feel like
we've seen time travel.
Yes, but I don't think he's not gonna go there.
I don't want that elaborated on film.
What I think Rian Johnson means here, I think he meant, I don't really know exactly from the quotes of the interview. It's been a while since I read over the interview or whatever, but he dropped some serious hints, and I think a lot of it we took out of it was something about no Jedi, no Sith, or something like that. But I do think that's kind of what he meant, was no Sith in control, no Jedi in control. Everything's kind of this neutral, but it's not just calm. There's chaos. It's this new broken world that we haven't seen before, because we haven't seen that in any of the what would be at the time 9 movies.
There's always been a leading faction and something opposing it.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna. I think, and then maybe the first movie we won't see that. Well, we won't. I wouldn't say crime is. You wouldn't have one force leading it. You just have crime leading it, maybe. And but. I have hope for it, and I feel like, this could be completely wrong, and he could go some really crazy. But even if he does go some crazy direction, it still could turn out okay. We don't really know. But I think it is kind of crazy. We're talking about his new trilogy now without saying 9, because 9 will obviously heavily impact his new trilogy, because although he's already getting ideas for his new trilogy. If let's say everyone doesn't die in 9, let's say the Resistance ends up defeating the First Order and it's in control. Mm-hmm. Let's say the First Order defeats the Resistance and it's in control. That completely it's a new ballgame. So,
and I'm thinking with Lucasfilm, they're gonna pretty much say, okay, Rian Johnson, if Episode 9 fails, you're gonna have to go very conservative with your trilogy. But if Episode 9 can succeed, cap off a trilogy like Revenge of the Sith or Return of the Jedi did, then they can say, you know what, Rian Johnson, you have free reign. Do what you need to do.
And I feel like that's why, if you notice, I don't think anyone I'm not work for Disney, but I don't feel like anyone's hitting the panic button at Disney right now.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're doing that. I feel like they've already done that though. I feel like that's what they did. Like, because of Last Jedi's, not so hot success, and Solo's not so, even though it was a great movie,
the people that actually saw it pretty much agreed that it was good.
Didn't have a lot of success, and I think that's what Disney did. I think they slammed their hand down on the button and just stopped, and they stood in their tracks, and they realized obviously Disney's not perfect, and they're going to continue to primarily focus on making money and probably not give the fans everything they want. They can't. And they're not perfect. But what they're going to do, I think at this point, I think they have realized that they cannot put out as much content as they've been doing. Yes. They can't do Star Wars like they've done Marvel. No, I'm not saying Marvel's bad. Marvel's great. But Marvel's completely different. Marvel it's way different than Star Wars. You can't treat them the same. And Disney has done that. And it hasn't worked. It didn't work. It worked with The Force Awakens, but when they started putting out all these new movies and this new content too fast, they stumbled.
With The Last Jedi, remember when I got into Star Wars, that the June before The Last Jedi, there was a trailer already out for The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Do you know when we got the first trailer for Solo?
Super Bowl.
February,
I believe.
Super Bowl. And that wasn't even the real trailer. That was the TV spot.
Yeah, that was the TV. Yeah, that wasn't even.
That was a TV spot. The next trailer. Day on Good Morning America, that's when the first.
And I think the problem with that is they were like so dedicated and so they had their minds set on getting it out in May 24th, I think. That they said, you know what, 25th. No matter what, we're doing that, and they did, and it didn't work.
And the marketing was not good. You didn't have, say, like a Porg that you could base your marketing around.
Oh yeah.
You didn't have those little animals or a character that's relatable.
You didn't have some kind of theme that you can, some kind of thing you can clutch to.
It was just a good, fun story about Han Solo.
But they didn't push that enough. And
exactly.
And I feel like if they'd released the trailer earlier, it would have had more success.
The trailer was too cliche. They followed the whole action movie thing where, there's action, then he makes a joke, and then there's action for
Yeah.
the trailer. Because it's action, he goes, 190 years old, you look great. And then there's more action in the trailer. Like, if these trailers really make me mad, because we go to the theater for, I believe it was Infinity War. And we see about 7 trailers that are the exact same thing.
Yeah, the like
Mission Impossible is the exact same way.
It's like the template they have for trailers.
Ant-Man's the same way.
Trailers are what for Star Wars, I don't really need to see a trailer. I'm gonna see it, but
it's nice to have.
It's supposed to be engaging, and it's not. They've started to fail at that in that category. But back to the primary focus is Rian Johnson, and well, not just that, but Disney's future. I feel like Rian Johnson could low key be a genius. That's kind of an overstatement, but I do feel like I feel like he's a great director.
I don't think he'll direct each movie of his trilogy because that's too much. You saw what happened to George Lucas. He was going through a divorce during the prequels. He was doing horrible. He almost had a heart attack.
See, maybe George Lucas maybe George Lucas got a divorce because he talked to his wife like Anakin talked to Padme.
Maybe.
And then she just you could tell Padme got fed up of it.
Yeah.
And then she left him.
Slept on the couch. He had to sleep on the couch. Okay, let's not joke about
let's not joke about George Lucas's divorce. Probably not the best idea. But
yeah, it would be cool if like Rian Johnson. I know he'll be able to. If he writes it, I'm fine. He wrote a very good story for The Last Jedi. Was it executed great? No, it was not.
Well, let's think about the main plot. The main plot holes for Last Jedi. They all involve the story, but
not necessarily because Canto Bight, great concept, not done right. Rose being in there as, say, an aide to Finn, great idea, not executed well. Poe wanting to know every single thing about the Resistance, kind of getting up in hold of a higher commander's business. The great idea, but not executed correctly.
We're going to hate on Holdo and praise Poe, but Poe he got ahead of himself a lot.
Like, I was personally rooting for Poe the entire movie until we figured out at the end that it was Poe that was in the wrong. And I was like, wait, so Holdo was doing the right thing.
Yeah, she was.
Poe was overreacting so hard.
And one thing to think about is if Poe hadn't overreacted, he might not have gone along with Finn and Rose and their plan to go get the Master Codebreaker. So that's, that Poe's overreaction did lead to that. But I do agree with you. There's a lot of ideas. I mean, Luke's character, that was just bad writing. That was... But I feel like we're going to see an arc in his character in Episode 9, because in Episode 9, you're going to have...
I'm about 103% sure he's going to come back.
Well, let's talk about that now. Let's talk about what we want in 9. What we want in 9, and some theories behind that. Because, after all,
Ghost.
Whether you like it or not, even though J.J. Abrams is directing Episode 9...
It can still flop.
Yes, but Rian Johnson's still somewhat in control.
Yes.
Because he has left this path to lead to 9.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you like it or not, I don't care if J.J. Abrams is directing it. Rian Johnson has set the stage for it. Even though J.J. Abrams set the stage. See, that's the problem. He set the stage for Johnson.
The problem with going from director, different director, then same director that was before.
Yeah, I do agree with you about 9.
It's like counting 1, 2, 1.
Yes, it is.
Or in the Star Wars case, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
7, 3.5.
I'm telling you, Force Ghosts are essential in 9. But
Ooh.
I mean, okay, listen, guys. I don't know if you've seen this, but Star Wars Theory did that
amazing
video on 9. And
we'll link it in the description.
It is,
if we remember.
If we remember, we will. It's awesome. It is one of the best. Like if 9 happened that way. I think he described it as it could be the best trilogy, but it would be if the movie was executed the way he wanted it to, I would say it'd probably be in my top 3. It was just that good. But the whole plot was just like, take out a lot of the cinematography and the kind of the dialogue and how he wanted it to go. Take out a lot of the minor details, and we'll just give you like the basic rundown. But Force Ghosts. So Luke is on a planet.
Pretty much
Force Nexus.
Yeah, he pretty much awakens, and all of a sudden he's like, where am I? It's like this just beautiful, think Felucia, but more beautiful.
But more like Earth-like. Felicia.
Yes. And it's so beautiful, and he's very confused, like, where am I? And we're seeing it through his eyes.
Yeah, and
then you see Obi-Wan, I believe, with his back turned.
Yeah, his back turned to us. But the whole idea was that, like, Anakin, the redeemed Anakin Force Ghost, meets Luke. And that would be really cool. I just thought it was a cool idea.
If we're at a Force Nexus, we cannot... If we're somewhere strong enough in the Force that we can see Qui-Gon, that would be great. If we can see Yoda, that'd be great.
But the deal was that Anakin and Luke get to meet. And they in the special... It wasn't the special editions, I think.
It wasn't. It was... Well...
They saw
he
each
was
other.
in the regular one, but not as Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen was special edition.
Yeah. So in the special editions of Return of the Jedi, Luke did see Anakin for Force Ghost, but it would just be such an emotional thing. It'd be really cool. Some other essentials: Rey's lightsaber.
Oh. Pink.
Drake wants a pink lightsaber.
I think that'd be so awesome.
I've seen her portrayed by yellow. I've seen people have her with obviously the cliche blue or green. I've seen people have her with a purple.
But really? I'd be fine with blue-green. I'd be fine with blue-green.
But you gotta think of her dark side connection that she does have.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Or she pulls an Ahsoka and ignites a white lightsaber.
That'd be pretty cool. I feel like...
Spoilers for Rebels, sorry.
And another thing that I think is essential for 9 is... I think I might have referenced this earlier in our last podcast, but... this darker theme, and that's what I think will set the stage, because I feel like I said, new trilogy is going to be in this world of brokenness, this world of just utter chaos, and to set the stage for that, you would have to have 9 end in a very dark, sad way, and that is the best way to get fans back to the theater. If you end it in a happy ending, people aren't guaranteed to come back. You make a sad cliffhanger, oh, okay, it's killer, because we have to wait years to see it, but that's going to get people back into the new trilogy, whether you like it or not.
What I'm thinking is, I do not think that Rian Johnson's trilogy is going to be after 9. I wholeheartedly believe it will be before that. And me personally, there's 2 things that I want to see. And that's either the Yuuzhan Vong, which is very unlikely, and there is Old Republic, which is way more likely. And I believe that Rian Johnson, he could execute. He could really execute the Old Republic very well.
I feel like he could, but I mean, that's why I don't know if he's gonna go there or not. I mean, based on the evidence he's given us, I just don't think he's gonna go there. I think he's a sequel guy. But I mean, I would love it. I mean, everyone would love an Old Republic trilogy. And I just don't feel like Disney has that in them right now. And
I'm thinking with the Old Republic trilogy,
which is sad.
Trilogy movies, you can reference these little bits of legends, say in the Knights of the Old Republic. In the Knights of the Old Republic game, you go to Dantooine and you see there's this rip-off Jedi Council, pretty much. Jedi Council, but it's not really a Jedi Council. Yeah. It's a kind of a rip-off. If we see that, things like that are very cool, that would be so, so awesome. We see a pod race like we see in Knights of the Old Republic. We see terrorists get destroyed like we see in Knights of the Old Republic. That would be great.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be more of a sequel rather than a prequel, but we never know. I mean, you don't know. It's just another thing we discussed was original trilogy. Disney does not need to mess with the original trilogy just because of the actors, the age they're at. Some of them are no longer with us too, so it's kind of an issue.
Or getting there.
So do not mess with the original trilogy. Do not try. In terms of novels are fine, but shows, movies, just don't mess with it. You can stick to prequels. I mean, that's the thing about the prequels. Not the prequels, but anything before the Empire. You have so much room to work with. Before the prequel trilogy, there's plenty of room. You can either go back to
and Legends
Young Yoda,
13 billion years.
You can go to Young Yoda, or you can go to Old Republic.
Say Darth Bane.
That's plenty of time. You've
got Darth Bane, Darth Plagueis. You have so much room to work with.
Why mess around in the Empire? I mean, you already have Rebels. You already have
Solo.
You
have Rogue One.
Just don't mess around.
I love the Empire. That's personally my favorite faction in all Star Wars.
But there's so much on it that it's time to expand off of it.
Yes.
Before you damage it.
Thrawn is so, so informative on the Empire. And so I would like to say move on to an Old Republic where they're fighting against, like, say, the Sith Empire or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
where, you know, they've got Revan, they've got Malik. It's the little things from Legends like that. That'd be cool. I would be so surprised if before I die they don't introduce Darth Revan into the canon.
They're gonna introduce a lot in the canon, and like you said, I mean, I think the Old Republic is the best way to do that. Just because it's harder. I mean, there's so much
because it's like
to choose from.
Pretty
it's
much
a buffet.
A clean
it's
slate.
A buffet. You can just
it's
pick
pretty
and
much
choose.
a clean slate, and like with like okay. If you were to rank, like, if you were to ask a bunch of old-timers what their 3 favorite Legends characters were, Thrawn would be at the top, Revan would be at the top. We've gotten one of those already in canon. He's got his novel, he's got 2 seasons of Rebels. He's got his own comic line. There is so much room for you. If we can get Old Republic and doesn't have Darth Revan, I'm really not going to be heartbroken. I'm not going to go scream and yell.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be fine with it. If we can see like new Sith and stuff, that'd be so awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot on the Sith origin.
Yeah,
so
we have
definitely,
and we know a lot
about. Like, we know more about the Jedi than the Sith.
Or let's say,
I mean, that's just a simple fact.
Let's say,
or at least in the canon films,
Sith. Let's say we have a Sith civil war, because that's kind of why Darth Bane established the rule of 2, because there was so much infighting.
In all dark side, an all dark side trilogy, or not just trilogy. I think an all dark side movie would be great. Like, why have a balance of dark and light when you can have a just all dark? I mean, that's pretty cool. And back to what I was saying about one of the reasons that Rogue One sets apart and takes the cake is the dark emotional theme. And I like Solo, and I like the family friendly kind of thing, and it's a really good movie because it fits. I mean, you can't have anything else. It's Han Solo. It's adventurous. It's got to be like that.
He's a lovable character. He's a fan favorite.
But I feel like 9. Yeah, it's time to end the fun, and you got to make
get to the point.
We said this I think last podcast, but if you can get Star Wars fans to cry in a theater, yes. I don't think that's gonna happen. But if you can, that would be amazing. I mean,
I've never cried at a movie. I've cried only at the best movies, like say Shiloh. Like it's the movies like that like if you can get me, I'm sorry. If I keep putting my foot on the desk, and it's really making Joe mad for some reason.
But. Like, it just needs a sad, dark ending. And I mean, like, I'm not being depressing over here, but this dark, emotional kind of stuff, it's honestly good.
We saw how it worked. Okay,
endings can be good.
Let's name some movies that have sad endings.
Oh, Titanic.
Let's talk Star Wars movies.
Oh, Star Wars?
Revenge of the Sith,
Empire
bad. Strikes Back, and Rogue One. Those are the saddest ones. Every single one of those are such good movies.
Yeah, I mean, and there's plenty, like, it could set the stage for so much stuff. I mean, it's worth it. And I feel like one thing that Rian Johnson possesses is the ability to take risk.
Yes.
He will take risk, which is good.
As we've seen.
To an extent, if he doesn't go like crazy.
Yeah.
Like Jake Lloyd crazy.
Probably
not good to make jokes about schizophrenia, is it?
Hopefully Rian Johnson will tell us if he has voices in his head.
Oh gosh.
Like Jake Lloyd.
Okay, well, I think
okay.
that's about all we're gonna do for today. Pretty much a basic rundown. Rian Johnson. All you need to know is
our hopes and dreams and aspirations for what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we got big hopes for Disney. Disney can pull it through. Rian Johnson's a genius, and in our lifetime, we'll probably see an Old Republic trilogy. That's the words of wisdom. That's the wisdom for right now.
And until then, we can fill the gap with books,
anything
shows.
else, anything we haven't read and done already.
Oh yeah, and we'll be getting all of those to y'all.
Oh yeah, reviews and everything. So make sure you check out our Patreon. It's down below in the description, along with our social media links. And I guess we'll just see you next podcast or next video.
Check out our Patreon.